Today's gonna be the day we're gonna talk about Gwendolyn. By now you should have somehow got revising what's up with it. I don't believe even Cecily feels the way I do about Gwendolyn. Sunshine.
Yes, guys, I'm Helen. We're here to talk about Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn's one of the key characters in the novel, and she's the daughter of Lady Bracknell. We have some notes to go which we're going to run you through and answer the board. A few quick tasks that you can pause and do, and send us the work. Let's go, guys.
So let's run through the key points, top left.
Right, so we got relevant plot points. Gwendolyn is introduced first as Algernon's cousin.
Let's get it on the board. You keep reading.
And then becomes the love interest for Jack.
Gwendolyn and Jack.
Okay, after this, Jack proposes to Gwendolyn.
Jack proposes.
She accepts under condition. His name is Ernest. And then Gwendolyn has tea with Cecily. This diverges into a war of manners as they're both engaged to Ernest Worthing.
Tea with Cecily. Explosion.
Explosion.
Because they are both married
To this guy called Ernest.
to Ernest.
They discuss this with Jack and Algernon, and they come to an agreement on their marriages.
Agreement. A line in the sand.
Yeah, mate. Although not in the play, we assume Gwendolyn marries Algernon.
And the upper class get what they want.
Yeah, mate. Now some relevant contextual points. Victorian female etiquette. Women had a specific and rigid set of rules dictating behaviour. It was important they stayed true to these in order to maintain honour in society.
Yeah.
Marriage. The established career in society for women was marriage. They were expected to represent their husbands as best as they could and provide no scandal. Childbearing was another key element of women's role in the Victorian upper class sphere. Male heirs were ideal as they were seen as suitable to take over family businesses and land. Marriage was seen as mainly as in a business lens with ideal. Marriages being one's increasing social status and increasing family wealth.
So we're going to run through some relevant subject terminology and concepts that we think is most relevant to Gwendolyn.
So relevant.
So firstly, Gwendolyn and Cecily's subsequent declaration of dedicated friendship allows Wilde to pass comment on the fickle nature of relationships. So we see them go from really close friends to enemies to then very close friends again in a really short space of time, showing the artificiality. Chelsea. Yeah. No, we're recording a presentation.
Yeah.
This will be in it.
This is in there. You're in there now, Elsie. English.
Elsie Christopher Suarez. Yeah. Okay. Read that last bit. Perlocution.
Okay. Perlocution. Gwendolyn seems stupid and illogical by suggesting this. An item such as sugar is not right because other people don't use it.
That's referring
All
to the
this
cake
goes
fight.
down to the tea fight.
Yeah, mate.
What is
Um,
this? Oh, is this English?
Yeah.
All English.
Well, thanks for stopping by, Elsie, so
No, I
much.
can't find it.
Okay. Now let's jump into some key characteristics and adjectives. Here we have most notably is similar, artificial and pretentious. Put those on the board. Artificial and pretentious, I think, is one of the key ways she comes across, just through her actions and language about Ernest, about tea, and her learning. She's very similar to Lady Bracknell in being strong-minded and speaking with authority and a strong sense of morality, whether those morals be right or wrong. Who are we to judge? Take 1 minute, pause this video, pause the video now, and write down in full as many quotes as you can.
Yes, guys!
How many quotes did you get? That's so good. Here is some we had.
Here's some we made earlier.
Callum, you do the quotes.
Okay. So some key quotations. We live in an age of ideals. My ideal has always been to love someone of the name of Ernest. There is something in that name that inspires absolute confidence. Okay. She also later goes on to say, I pity any woman who is married to a man called John. She would probably never be allowed to know the entrancing pleasure of a single moment's solitude. The only really safe name is Ernest. Yep, that one, classic. Hope you guys got that one. About the name Ernest, it has a music of its own. It produces vibrations. Okay, let's get some other ones. So, outside the family circle, Papa, I am glad to say, is entirely unknown. I think that is quite as it should be. Once a man begins to neglect his domestic duties, he becomes painfully effeminate, does he not?
This goes against the obvious contextual point.
Lack of, being in the family, for example, because this is just, they've essentially switched the roles with the man and the woman. The woman essentially, made to maybe sit and look pretty, not do anything, really kind of be outside the house, and the man being only mentioned kind of emphasizes just how, how unfair the society is, where it's such a contrast between his situation and how men really are. Yeah.
Elsie's back. Hey Elsie.
Elsie's back.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So that was a pretty good list of quotes, but what other boxes are left, Carl?
Key characteristics / adjectives. Have we already done that?
I think I missed one.
Yeah. So she's just the qualities of conventional Victorian womanhood. She has the ideals, attends lectures and is bent on self-improvement, artificial and pretentious, very similar to Lady Bracknell being strong-minded and speaking with, and say, yeah, we've already done that one, mate. Just
so yeah, take a screenshot of the board, look at the sheet.
Yeah.
I want you to plan a P to C.
Plan.
A P to C based on.
And on that bombshell, it's time to end. Back to the classroom. No. Pardon?
Yeah, no expression. Okay, ready?
Slip inside the eyes of Gwendolyn.